All right, good. All right, traders. So, welcome. My name is Fausto from Cyber Trade University, and we are going to talk about the 2026 market outlook. We're going to show you some of the big things that we teach at Cyber Trade University, and that this class is going to be designed for if you're a beginner just trying to get started, or if you're just, you've been trading and had things have been working out, and try want to find that little niche. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And we have a lot of students that are here also. They're going to be sharing their thoughts. We'll be happy to share it with them when they chat back, because our goal is we're looking to recruit traders that we could trade with. That's what it is. And the only way you could be successful in trading, it's not about watching YouTube videos or reading books. You got to have a good mentor, and you got to surround yourself with the team that is very good, that trades just like you. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about it for about an hour, maybe less, maybe like 40 minutes. And, I'm going to show you some things. Now, I'm going to tell you, what you're about to learn is going to be quite shocking. Everyone that comes in here, they look at this and they're like, the first thing they say is, I never heard of this stuff. Why did no one ever teach this? Well, that's what I'm going to tell you, because I was a market maker. We'll talk a little bit about that. But before we do that, just a quick little disclaimer for all of you. I'm not going to make any guarantees and make you all multimillionaires and enjoy me on my safari trips and, go on my Lear jets. I don't do that game. There's no guarantee of trading. It's a very high risk. I always tell everyone, please don't go out there that you can't afford to lose. Okay. Now, what I'm going to be doing at the end of this presentation is I'm going to invite all of you to come to my trading floor. Now, here's a copy. Here's the trading floor right now. Just want to bring this over here so you guys could see it. And hold on a second. Sorry, but coming down with a little cold. Hopefully not. But it's about we have about close to about 1,000 traders, and there's always given between 200 and 300 at a given time. It's the middle of the day, so it's kind of slow right now. But right here, you can see that they're looking at stocks like Intel. We have the message board. You have all the traders around the entire world that right here, from Dallas to Canada to London, Ohio, Utah. There are people all over the world. So I'm going to invite all of you guys to come to that room, because what we do is we practice what we preach. So anything you see that we're going to do here, if it sparks your interest, you definitely want to show up and you want to come and register for that event for 1 week. And let me tell you something. I will guarantee you that you will see things that will blow your mind. And I'm talking about stocks that are up, not 10%, 20, but you'll see 50, 100, 200%, sometimes even 1,000% movers. And you're like, how is that possible? Well, I'll show it to you. But let me talk about some of the stocks that we trade this past week, so you have a kind of a little bit of a ballpark. Let me go bring up the execution system up and running really quick. And did anybody do any trades today? Anybody buy or sell anything? Anyone out there? I'm just going to fix something over here. What'd you guys trade? What'd you guys trade? Anything? Give me a stock symbol. Some metals you traded. Okay. Some of you traded Uber because of earnings, Palantir. Okay, good, 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 good. All right, so what I want to show you is this. Well, you know what? We'll bring Palantir really quick. Okay. So before we do that, let me ask everybody this question. It's a very important question. What makes a stock go up and down in the stock market? Let's see if you guys can answer that question. What makes them go up and down? Philip, you're right. Okay. Deborah, you're right. Eric. Well, no, Eric, you're wrong. Okay. News and fear, no. Now, we have almost over 100 people in here. Can everybody just write these two letters? Buy and sell. BS. I'm not talking about the BS of bullshit. I'm talking about the BS of buyers and sellers. Okay. Can we all agree to that? All right. So I'm going to bring up Palantir, because Palantir took a very big hit. Okay. You can see Palantir had just had earnings. Stock was right around 190. It went all the way down to about 130. It had a really good earnings just on Monday, but look at what happened. It went from 165 to 130. Now, why did that stock go down? Can anybody tell me? What drove that stock to go lower? Sellers, right? But I don't understand. Had good earnings. Why would the stock go down when it really went up? Well, what I want to show you something here is called level 4. Here are all the orders that are out there. Now, let me get my crayons out here. Let me do some drawing for you. All right. So this is the market when it opened up at 9:30. This is pre-market trading. This has been out there since 8:30, actually even earlier than that. The stock opened up right around here, which is right around 137, came all the way down right around these big buyers out here. And these big buyers are these numbers right here. 50,000, 12,000, 23,000. And that's the reason why a stock didn't go any lower, because it met all these big buyers on the bid. One of you said, what about NVIDIA? Okay, let's bring up that one. Here's NVIDIA. So NVIDIA started this morning right around here, which is right around 185. And I mean, 175, you can see how the stock went all the way down. And this is called program trading. All these orders showed up here at 935. And those big orders are 400,000 at 170, and the bigger sellers at 190, 185. You got 330,000 and 340,000. Okay. Now, this is a way we're looking at a swing trade. Let's just say you want to look at more closely. We can go here, and you could see that stock came down to these big buyers at 170 and to 170, 171. And look when this started. It was hovering there from 10:30 in the morning all the way to 11 o'clock in the morning. And then finally, it went all the way to 175. So let's do the math here for a second, okay? Let's do some math. If you bought 100 shares, okay, times 171. So basically, it's a $17,000 investment, okay? All right, let me clear that out. If the stock goes from 171 minus, let's say right now it's at 170. I use simple math. We won't get crazy. We'll say 173, okay? That's $2, okay? $2 times 100 shares, it's about $400, okay? So you do the math. If you did that every day, 400 times 5 days a week times 52 weeks, okay, talking about $100,000 a year salary, okay? So the thing is, you don't got to spend a lot of money. You know, you just got to know to trade smart. But the thing is, everybody wants to know entries and exits. Well, that's where that comes into play. Now, by the way, it's not just they do it on brand name stocks. I'm going to show you something else. They also do it on Bitcoin. Bitcoin took a very, very big hit today. Okay. But did you know that anyone here trade Bitcoin? You see all the Bitcoins out there? Look at that. 60,000, 65,000, 67,000. Look at all these Bitcoins out there. So they do it on every single stock. So my question to you is this. Did I get everyone's attention yet? I'm going to ask this question. What makes a stock go up and down in the market? Everyone should answer that question. What drives them up and down? Buyers and sellers. So what you have just witnessed is something we call the right of the chart. The right of the chart is the algorithms, the high frequency trades, the dark pools, everything of the boogeyman that you heard about. That's what you're reading. Now, let me tell you a little about myself and let you know what I'm showing you is, you know, and how is that even possible? And how do I know it? Well, because I am what's called the original day trader, one of the original SOS bandits that started over 30 years ago. Okay. I don't know if anybody reads any of the old books, but that's how long I've been doing this for. Now, I've competed. I went up against every school in the industry. I beat every school I went up against. Okay. So the big thing was, it's not about the champions, it's not about the experience, but it's also the reputation. I've done presentations for some of the biggest brokerage firms, some of the biggest financial institutions. I do a lot of presentations for NASDAQ I've done, talking specifically what I'm about to show you right now, which is following the money. Now, I know a lot of you heard of it. I know a lot of you have, some people spoke about it, but now I'm going to show you how it actually exists. So everybody heard about the unicorn. Well, I'm going to show you there is such thing of a unicorn out there, because it all starts from there. Now, before we move forward, I'm going to just do one thing. I'm also the author of a book called How to Beat Market Makers at Their Own Game. Now, a market maker is a brokerage firm. So just before we get started, I want everyone to send me an email at that email address right there. Okay, I just posted in the chat. So before we move forward and before we forget, let's open up our inbox really quick. Let me get my inbox here. And I'm going to type in Fausto. Oops, right here. And I'm going to write, just write book, right? Just write book and just hit send. All right. So what's going to happen is I'm going to automatically get your email, and I will email everybody a copy of my book for you. It's a great read. It's a fast read. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. It's going to basically give you a breakdown of what we do here today. Okay. So everyone just get a chance to do that right now. And I had a couple of questions asked. People came across here regarding about, I just took a small loss in IBIT, Barbara. Well, listen, we'll talk a little about IBIT and more towards the end. We'll talk a little bit more about the buyers and sellers. We're going to take care of that. I see a bunch of you just emailing me right now. And by the way, very important, please give me your first and last name so I know who you are. Okay. All right. Demir, George, Dr. Osman, I got yours. Deborah, Patrick, got all you registered. I just got you for the book. All right. Now, as we're doing that, as you guys are filling that out, let me just tell you a little bit of how I got started. So you know exactly, like, who the hell is Fausto? Why am I listening to this guy? What makes Fausto any better than any other influencer or anyone on the internet or social media? Well, first of all, that picture that you see right there was me. Okay. We were a bunch of kids in Wall Street, and we basically were day trading all day long. Now, what's really interesting about this photo is this. Look at that monitor. Do you see all those? Do you guys see any charts on there? No, you just see numbers. I'm going to show you how to be a tape reader in the next 10 minutes. You're all going to be able to do it. What you have to understand when it comes to trading is you have to know how to follow orders, the money. Just please keep in mind, and don't take this in a bad way, we are just the ants on the floor, just trying to get the crumbs. Okay. There are brokerage firms out there basically trading millions and millions of shares. They don't care about you as much as you might think. They don't care about you. They got orders to fill, and that's what all that matters. By the way, I'm seeing a bunch of you just email me right now. Robin, Bob, Dan. Look at all the emails that came in. Bob, Robert, good, beautiful. Look at that. Everybody wants the book. Just to show you, everybody's emailing me. All right. Love that you guys are paying attention. Perfect. All right. So, just a little bit more about me. I'm first generation Italian. My parents came to this country with $20 in their pocket, like most people did, and they settled here in New York. I still live here in New York, and my dad was a landscaper, and he connected me with somebody in one of his customers. Say, hey, listen, you're not going to push grass, cut lawn like your dad's doing. So my dad basically. One of his customers gave me a job to learn how to trade in the market. And let me tell you, because he knew I was trying to do it, on the side, and I failed miserably. I lost so much money doing it because of ignorance. And let me tell you, what I've learned on the first day on the job, okay, nobody here or anyone in the industry shouldn't even think they have a damn shot in hell to trade without knowing this technology. So the technology I'm about to show you has been around for over 50 years. Some of you have never seen it before, didn't even know it existed. But back then, the difference 30 years ago till today is you had to get licensed back then. You had to work for a brokerage firm to get that data. Today, you don't have to. So my question to everyone here is this: how long have you been trading for? And what I mean by that, how long did you started taking it very seriously? So let's give me a chat back in the room, and let me just see and kind of get see what you guys. Ronnie, about 2 years, okay. Anybody else? Just started. Deborah, 1 year, 5 months. Dell, okay. Now you have to ask yourself this question: are you really, really, really making money? Are you making money? Are you losing money? Are you breaking even? Okay. So we're going to fix that problem today. Okay. Now, when it comes to trading, if you're retired or working, anybody here can do it. But the thing is this, the market always has volatility. Okay. If it's the rate cuts, if it's earnings, there's something always moving. All right. But it's not easy, to get into these positions. When you're training by yourself and you're trying to figure out and you miss some of these opportunities and you chase, that's, we're going to fix that. Okay. So let's talk about this because there's opportunities every day to trade in the market. Now, I'm live every morning at 9 a.m. on social media. Hopefully everybody here signed up for it. You probably seen me before. But I'm going to do something better than that. I'm going to invite all of you guys to come here all day. But before I do that, let me teach you something that is going to show you one simple thing is going to make you that much better of a trader. And basically, we're going to follow what's called the big money. Okay. What is the big money? All those high frequency trades, all those algorithms, all those dark pools, all those things that are out there. So basically, what makes big orders? Volume. Okay. There's a lot of stocks that are trading in the market, over 25,000 of them. But when it comes to trading, we like to trade things that are the most volatile, the ones that have the most volatility, good percentage movers, the 20s, the 50s, the 100% movers. But we don't need to make 50, 100%. We just need to follow the money. So what I'm going to do right now is this. Before I show you where we find these stocks, everything else, let me tell you why 80% of the people fail in today's markets. It's not having the right tools. I want to start off talking about something called level 2 quotes. Now, does anyone here have level 2 quotes? Basically, level 2 is this right here. You see this thing right here changing colors? Is Palantir. You see the bid and offer. Everybody see that? Okay. Who here has level 2? Thank you very much, Deborah. I really appreciate that. And we're going to share that chat with everyone. Don, you have it. Okay, what about you, Barbara? What about you, Brian? I didn't hear from you. Alex? Everyone here? Who here? DJ, what about you? Eric? James? Anyone here have level 2 quotes? Okay. Gregory does not. Okay. So if you have level 2 quotes, let me explain to you what it is. Okay. So let me get my crayons. So basically what you're seeing is you're seeing the buyers and you're seeing sellers. The buyers are on the bid. The sellers are on the ask. So if you wanted to buy something, you would be on the left. If you were somebody wanted to sell something, you'd be on the right. Now, what you're seeing here is you're seeing what's called market maker ID. That is basically an exchange. You got New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, EDGX. These are all exchanges. So when you want to know what's happening on the floor, this is where you're seeing it. So you're getting to see what that stock is trading at the best price on the bid and then also on the ask. Now, the problem with level 2, it's outdated. Okay. It's been outdated since the early 2000s. I even say 1990s, because it's not showing you all the data. You're only seeing what's called the level 1, which is the first level, the best buyer and the best seller out there. You're not seeing all the buyers and you're not seeing all the sellers. Remember, they're buyers at all different prices. So what do you care about who wants to pay the most and sell for the least. That might be a very small lot, but you're going to see that if you work your way down that list, that's where the big block iceberg orders are. Okay. So let's clear this out and let me show you what I'm talking about. These are the two most popular tools that you need to have to even have a fighting chance to trade. It's called level 3 and level 4. Okay. I'm going to start off with level 3. So I'm going to do a poll question. Could everyone here tell me who here has level 3 quotes? So let me get the poll up here. I don't know if my staff is here, could do it for me. I gotta do it myself. I don't have access to it. Ron Lee do. Okay. Don, you don't. Anyone else? So, I mean, we have some students in here that do have it. I don't. Guys, don't lie. No one's going to embarrass you. No one's going to rat you out to your spouse. Okay. Okay. So listen, this is where I really need your attention, because what you're about to learn right now is going to be extremely disturbing. You're about to realize and learn how these stocks go up and down. Okay. I'm going to start off with level 2. So level 2, basically, this is the NASDAQ market. And you're looking at Snapchat. And on Snapchat, there are buyers all over the world at every single price. Okay. Now, the way it works is this. You see the buyers, and whoever wants to pay the most is up on top. Whoever wants to buy for less money is down at the bottom. Here are all the sellers. Whoever wants to sell for the least is up on top, and whoever wants to sell it for more is down at the bottom. So what you're seeing is a negotiated market. You're seeing who wants to buy it, who wants to sell it, how many shares, and how many orders make up that share. Now, when everyone gets a chance, I might even play it here at the end before we go. But let me bring this up really quick and share this with you. If you go to Cyber Trading University, just bring this up. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So right here down at the bottom, I'll play this video for you. And you could see exactly, I've done a lot of presentations there. So the exchanges want you to understand how to trade the market. If you don't know how the market works, then you really don't understand why these things go up and down the way they do. So what we have here is this. Buyers equal support. This is where everyone makes the mistake. Everyone's looking for support and resistance levels. No, that's wrong. Okay. That's backwards. You see, you can't have a support level unless you got the buyers out there. You can't have a resistance level unless you have the sellers out there, because stocks break supports and resistance levels all the time. So here you have an example of a stock that goes from 178, drops all the way down to 175. And then for some reason, it decided to go up at 175 and it goes back to 178. Why did it stop at 175? Why not 170? Why not 176? Why not 177? What made 175 so special? Well, what makes the support levels? Buyers. When you work your way down, I know it's a little difficult to see, but right here at 175.20, there was 178,000 shares looking to be bought. Now, is that a lot? Well, look at all the other orders down the list. You got 1,300, 3, 16, 500. You're talking about something that's probably several hundred times more looking to be bought at that specific price than at any price out there that's being advertised. Now, once again, how do stocks go up? Buyers and sellers. Where's the biggest buyer? Specifically at that price. Now, if you had level 1 or level 2, you would not see that. You would just see this 500 share buyer. If you don't have level 3, you would never knew that you were coming up to a 178,000 share buyer. That is the big difference. Now, vice versa, let's look at this. What makes a resistance level? Sellers. Here we're looking at Tesla, and you could see Tesla went up, hit 500, came back down. Went up, hit 500, came all the way back down to 450. Why was 500 the magic number? Oh, it's 500. No, it has nothing to do with 500, the number. What it has to do is that right down here at the bottom, you got close to 427,000 shares. And not only that, you got almost 10,000 people around the world that equal that. Okay. So some people look at that and they're like, well, how do I know that's real? Well, I don't know if 10,000 people are in cahoots with each other. You know what I mean? No, they're real. All right. Okay. That's real. There's nothing fake about it. If you think it's fake, I'll make you a bet. You can come join my trading room. We're done. I'll find a nice little block order like that. And if you got a couple of 100 million in your account, we'll execute it. We'll see how fake it is. And then if it's fake, I'll take it. If it's not fake, you own it. Okay. All right. So that is what makes support and resistance levels. Now, before we move forward, I have a question. Did I lose anybody yet? Is everybody following along? Just give me a yes or no. Yes, you're following. No, I'm completely lost. Have no clue what you're saying, Fausto. Ronnie's following along. Yes, you're following along, Tom, Ken, Deborah. Okay. Beautiful. Everyone's listening. Perfect. Okay. So did I get everyone's attention? That's the big thing. Now, let's go over a couple of more examples. I have to leave. It's going to be recorded. Yes, Phil, as long as you're registered, we're going to send you an email, but we're going to be done in about a little less than 15 minutes. Okay. All right. Now, let's go over a few more examples. Revvion. Okay. Not looking at anything else. We're looking at a stock and it's dropping. Now, the stock's down. You ever want a stock? You're like, my God, I'm losing so much money. What do I do? Do I get out? What do I do? Okay. Well, listen, there's only one thing that's going to save you, and that is buyers. Unfortunately, when you look at a chart, which is the left, you don't see any buyers. You got to look what's at the right of the chart. Now, when we look at the right, we can notice that, I'm sorry. Let me go back. When the stock goes down, you need buyers, and the only way the buyers are on the left. Okay. The right is the sellers, the left is the buyers. So we're going to look at NASDAQ Book Viewer. And by the way, in the next few moments, be prepared. You got your emails up and running. I'm going to show you where to get NASDAQ. Go right to NASDAQ website and where to get it. Okay. So here we are working our way down. Now, if you had level 1, you're like, oh my God, this stock is definitely going lower. It's not really a big buyer, 800 shares, right? And you know what? That's all you're going to see. But without the level 3, this is what you got to look at. This big buyer right here for 122,000 at 15. Now, like it or not, hope all you want. Okay. Pray to your God, whoever it is. This stock is, chances are, is going to test to 15. That's the only thing that's going to save you right now. So you could take a loss now, or you could wait until there. Okay. But that's what's going to prevent it from going lower, is that big buyer. And look what ended up happening. Went from all the way to that price, 15, and went right back up to 1660. Now, you know, and I know we've been there all the time, and it's happened to us all the time. How many of you have been out there, and as soon as you sold the stock that you're losing money, it goes up? And it's in a stock that as soon as you buy it, thinking you got a good deal, it goes down. And the issue is, it's not that you Anthony, I'm guilty of it. Listen, Anthony, you're not the only one. I'm glad you're being honest. All right. But the chances are we've all done it. And the problem is, if you knew what was out there, you probably wouldn't have bought it in the first place. And how many times have you missed that opportunity of that stock? And then and you're like, oh my God, I knew I should have bought at that price. Well, you knew it if you saw them out there. All right. let's talk about some other ones. Buyers make up support, sellers make up resistance. Now, here's Intel. Okay. It's been a great swing trade lately. Big run up, 25, 35. Now it's at 55. And some of us keep looking at it like, do I buy it here? Do I buy it here? Do I buy it here? Well, now it comes to a point that maybe you don't want to know when to buy it. Good traders need to know when to sell. Okay. Because that's where it comes down to it. So when we go check out level 4, NASDAQ book viewer level 3, this is the issue. We look in the sell columns and we work our way down and look at all these sellers. Not 189,000, but several of them out there. 180, 181, 181, 13,000, 100,000. You're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're talking almost maybe 1 million shares looking to be sold there. And you look at it as like, is that really a lot? Damn right, it's a lot. It's the biggest amount of orders, a 6-digit number. And there are about 4 or 5 of them out there, not one. That's where it comes down to it. Tim, thank you very much for sharing that. Tim just writing a really, really nice comment in there. Listen, our students are here because, and by the way, you'll get to meet Tim and Randy and all of them in the trading floor. They're here because they were you before they came to Cybertrade University. Okay, they're here because I always told them, we have to help the community of traders because there are just too many bad actors out there. There are too many people losing money out there. They know they need to learn this. They don't want to give it to the mutual fund. You could do a better job than them. What better job that's going to pay you the salary than this? And it all starts from here, learning how to follow the money. Now, Intel, look what happened. If you didn't know that big seller was out there, it went from that price of 54.50, 60, and it dropped all the way down to $44. How many of you are guilty of that? And you know what? He was there all day. He was there all day. And you know what ends up happening? You know why the stock dropped so fast? Does anybody want to take a guess? Anybody want to know? Because that biggest seller out there. Hold on 1 second. All right. So let's do this. Trading the icebergs. All right. What happens when a stock breaks a support level? What happens? How do we know when you see a support level out there and you see that all of a sudden there's a big support? And you want to know how to even break it? Well, this is the reason why. Stock goes down. You see a big iceberg order. We're looking at Netflix. Okay. So now in theory, we got about 1,400 shares, 1,400 orders out there looking to buy 50,000 at 83. Okay. So here you have the stock at 85. It comes down, it goes up, it comes down. Now we're getting to 83. Now remember, in theory, I just told you that, by the way, Ken, yes, it does work in futures too. And also Bitcoin and in options. All right. So you just learned that support levels are being built from buyers. And now you got a big buyer out there. So in theory, when you say, hey, Fausto said support levels, buyers, stock's going to go up. Well, unfortunately, the stock went lower. And you know why? This is what happened. Don't stocks break supports and resistance levels all the time? What happened here was this. That somebody went out there and were like, you know what? You want the 50,000? Sold. You own it. Now, if a big buyer like that gets executed and there's no more buyers out there to support it, the stock's going to go lower, like it or not. That's the reason why it did that. So as much as you see that support and that buyer out there is the support, and somebody decides to say, yeah, I'll sell you the $4 million worth of stock. Guess what? You're screwed. And you know that, and I know that, and you've been there, and now you know what the facts are. That's what drives these stocks up and down. So who here would like to get and play around with the live level NASDAQ total view? All you need to do right now, let's do this one more time. There's my email address, and let's bring up your inbox, and let's do this one more time. And I want you to type in Fausto. All right. And just write NASDAQ right there. And make sure, please give me your first and last name so I know who you are. Some of you here, I don't even know, that registered, may use like, Trader 2, whatever it is. And just write NASDAQ. You can write NASDAQ book. And just hit send. All right. Now, what I'm going to do, wow, all of you guys, look at all you people out there wrote for a book. Now you're going to get the NASDAQ. So, yeah, I'll put it in the chat for you here. Fausto at CTU Corp, CTU Trading. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to email you 2 videos. They're about 5 minutes long. Very important you watch them because if you don't watch them, you're going to get lost. You're not going to know where to find it, and you're going to end up getting the wrong one, and you're going to get the defaults wrong, whatever it is. Take the time. They're quick reads, quick videos, and we'll show you how to get the NASDAQ total view. And you know what? You could start using it today. Now, this is not the Fausto software. It's not the Fausto indicator. This isn't, you have a seat on the exchange, okay? That's basically what it is. You have a seat on the exchange, and you're going to see all the buyers and all the sellers that you're in the stock that you're in right now. Del, I got yours. Brian, Gene, Greg. All right, I see a bunch of you guys just emailing me right now. Let me just see it right here. Look, all you guys are emailing me. You see it right there? Juan, Michael, perfect. I'm glad that you guys have an interest, okay? Because, it's all about giving. The stock market was very good to me. It helped me put 2 kids in college. I got 1 more. It helped me live in a really nice area. And, and I just see people just blow up their accounts and get involved with the wrong people. And it's all about it's all about, hey, buy my indicator, buy my newsletter, sign up to my Discord channel. You know what I mean? Listen, the way you learn is you learn from people that do it all day, that were trained by market makers. I was a floor trader. I'm not teaching you the Fausto method. There's not a Fausto Nachi indicator. There's not a special software. This is a seat on the exchange. So please go out there, email me, play around with it. All right. You're going to love it. All right. So let me clear this out and let me move on. Now, I'm almost done here. And I want to go over one last thing with you. Okay. Ray, Russell, Richard, it's got all your emails right now. Perfect. Eric, I got yours. Okay. Gregory, I got yours. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to talk about something called level 4. Now, level 4 is the same thing that we saw like in level 3, like the total view, but now you're seeing it on a heat map. All right. So we're going to go to the market and we're going to look at some stocks really quick right here. Now, does anyone have any stock that you want to look at? Let's bring up a stock right here. Any stock. What's pretty cool? Let's look at Intel. All right, let's look at Intel. Intel is a pretty good one. Let's look at Intel right here. So what you're looking at right here this is called the current order book. So this is the NASDAQ total view. Now, the stock right now is trading right here. Okay. Now, what you're seeing, Hold on 1 second. Let me fix this a little bit better. There we go. All right. So you could see right here that when the market opened up this morning at 9:30, it ran all the way up. Program trading kicked in. It took this seller out. And then, like it or not, it went to the next biggest seller, which was here. And that was at 51 for 250,000 shares. The only way it's going to go higher is someone's got to buy the 250,000. Someone bought this, probably 250,000, but they didn't want to buy that one because then all of a sudden they saw they had this one and they had this one coming up. So look at all those orders out there: 112,000, 250,000, 230,000. If you saw that you coming up to a big seller, I don't think you want to own a stock with a big seller out there, right? So what ended up happening? It hit the big seller and it came crashing down all the way back down to 48. So think about it. If you didn't know that seller was out there, and by the way, and it did it in a matter of, I don't know, 15 minutes, right? 9:45 is here, 10:45, at 30 minutes. So if you didn't get out and know that that seller was out there, if you didn't take that profit, you just converted a winner to a loser just by knowing that seller was out there. That is the big difference between level 4. Level 4 is more of a heat map. Level 3, you're just seeing the orders. Now, I'm not here to sell any programs or anything like that. You're going to see all this stuff live in the market. All right. You're going to see all this stuff live when I invite you all to the trading floor. All right. Bill, C2 experience helped us all trade better understanding and charts. Bill, thank you very much. I mean, listen, you guys have been the students in here have been so overwhelmed, helpful. If you actually click where it says to, you could do to all for any students here. All right. So, listen, seeing is believing. And if you look at these two photos, it seems like everybody's like trading by ourselves. They get all these crazy charts. They get all these newses. They subscribe to all this stuff. And then when they come here and they're like, now I know what I'm doing wrong. I just hope it's not too late. And what I mean by too late is that some people here spend so much time, so much effort, so much money that they're like, well, I can't abandon that anymore and I can't buy another program. So, but listen, stock market's not going out of business. Don't worry about spending any more or less. If you like it, you're going to learn really quickly. All right. So CyberTrade University has been respected and also has represented some of the biggest brokerage firms in the industry. We just signed on with Mumu. I was just in Toronto last week, 14 below zero in Toronto, Fahrenheit, by the way. I took my wife. She survived. But I don't think anyone here took an education could say that they've been represented and been sponsored by more brokerage firms than anyone. Maybe 1, 2, but probably not 10, 15. Also, where else am I here? Yeah, there we go. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to invite all of you guys to come to my 1-week trading floor because I want to practice what we preach. I want to show you. The big thing is this. We don't tell you what to buy like most people do. We teach you how to buy and sell. That's how you're going to learn. So we broadcast live all day. We do meetings all day. You'll have workshops, videos all day. You'll get real-time alerts. You'll get a personal education advisor. You'll be able to meet us in the trading floor. Me, my other 2 instructors, Josh and Rich. Okay. You get to meet all the traders in the room that were just like you. Some of them are here right now because they were you. And the big thing is you're going to see from them, and you're going to learn from them, like, listen, they're no different than you when they started. And you know what? It's never too late to learn. It's really not. And not only that, but if you get a chance, go check out our Google reviews. We're probably the only school that you ever find that's got a 5-star rating, over the years. So all you need to do if you want to get registered is this. Has everybody got their phone? Take the phone and scan that QR code. And what we're going to do is we're going to get full access, a week access into our trading floor. All right. You're going to get all these things, comes out to about $2,000. And this is the big thing. It's only going to cost you $9. Now, the reason why we're only charging you nine, people are like, wait, that sounds a little too cheap. There's got to be, is there a catch? Is there going to be a subscription? No, no catch, no subscription. I'm just looking for real traders. That's it. I'm looking for people that are serious. So if I taught you anything right now in 30 and 40 minutes, imagine what you can learn in a week. All right. And I'm only looking for serious traders. So the thing is this, if you can't afford $9, I'm sorry to say this, you really can't afford to trade. Okay. If you think I gave you $9 worth of education so far, imagine what you'll learn in a week being there all day. And you don't got to be there all day. You could only be there that first hour, the last hour. Don't worry about it. Just wherever works for you. So what I'd like to do right now is I would like to, the scan does not work on my phone. Let me see. Is that really? Okay. It should work. I hope not. Yeah, it works for me. There you go. See? What you could do is you could just go right to the link. You don't got to use your phone. You could actually use the link too. There you go. There's the link. If you have a problem. Okay. Kim's having a little problem. Oh, it's working now for you? Perfect. All right. So this is the big thing I'm also going to do for you. Okay. Whoever registers, you're probably going to want to know a little bit more about CyberTrade University. So what I'm going to do is, as long as you're in the trading room, I will personally give you a coaching class. That's right. I'm going to go on the phone. We're going to make an appointment. You're going to talk to our education advisors, and I'm going to answer your questions in detail, no matter how long it takes. Because some of you here have taken courses with people, never spoken to anybody. You spent all this money, don't even know if the person really even exists, Probably they do, but I'm just saying, but wouldn't it be nice to know before you made that investment that you could have your questions answered? Well, that's why, we've been ranked the #1 school in the industry for years. That's why we've been around for over 30 years. That's why we have a 5-star rating. So all I'm asking is you're going to get the trading floor. You're going to get our watch list. You're going to get you're going to get a coaching class, all that for $9. All right. Any other questions? Linda Rain says, yes, indeed, Fausto, we'll call you. Very impressive. Who would do that? Thanks a lot, guys. And you know what? No, not a lot of people won't do that, because let me tell you why I do it. I have an invested interest for you guys to succeed. And if you're going to continue doing this as a career, let's talk about it. Because you know what? It might not be for you. And you know what? Maybe you need to know what's really involved to do it. And you'll see what's involved. And you know what? You might say, damn, I didn't realize it was this much work, but really not. But it's a good way to learn. And then somebody be like, oh my God, this is so easy. I didn't think it was this hard. And now I can finally ask Fausto or ask somebody who really does this all day about what does this mean and what does that mean? Because I can't get the answers on AI. I can't get the answers with someone else. Well, that's why we have a passion to teach. We're very big when it comes to customer service, and we just want you guys to succeed, because trading is a 90% failure rate. The last thing you want to do is be part of that 90% failure rate, and there's no reason for it. George, you're more than welcome. Clarence, great to see you. Lynn, Randy, truly a great room. A couple of people just registered right now. I just want to give a couple of shout outs really quick. Okay. Mario, I just got yours from East Elmhurst, New York. You're not too far from it. We're here in Long Island. Who else I got here? Kem, I got yours from Great Britain. All right. Got a lot of people from overseas that are in the cyber group room. Who else I got here? Brandon from New Jersey. Got your registration. Who else we got? Anthony Julis. Got your registration. Benjamin G from South Carolina. Welcome aboard. See it. Just show you. Look, everyone's registering. Just show you. I'm not lying. Yeah, look. Everyone here is registering. See it right there? See all you guys registering. One of you just called in. Who else we got here? Don R. from Ontario, Canada. But Okeechobee. All right. Is it still cold up there, up in Canada? My God, it was freezing. My wife was like, Never again. That was, you know what? We came back to New York. It was like 10 degrees. She's like, I could actually go out in the bathing suit. Just kind of adapt to it. But I'm going to be up there. I go up to Canada a lot. I would say about 10 to 20% of our traders are from Canada. I've been going up to Canada for about 25 years now. So really look forward to it. Do you recommend from Brandon? I don't know if I saw it yet. Mark, I got yours from. Are you from? Where are you from? Mark K. DEU. I don't know where that is. Is that from Dutchland? I think I don't know. Michael Smith, I got yours from Minnesota. Okay, welcome aboard. So, is that where you're from, Mark? Cool. So anyway, one person asked me the question I answered before. You are not buying into a subscription. We do not charge you. We are not going to listen. We don't need your money. I am looking for people that want to be part of the team. Okay. I'm looking for serious traders. You're not going to be billed some, that's kind of shady. And we don't play that game here. Okay. If you don't want to be part of Cyber Trade University, we're not going to, I don't know why people do that, but we don't do that here. Okay. Now I am going to email all of you. Once again, whoever emailed me to get the book viewer, I will email you. If you email me about the book, I'm going to send you my book. But all that stuff you're going to get. All right. Do you also offer courses on crypto? Yes, we are. We're going to be launching that next week, Jeffrey. Next month in March. All right. Who else we got here? Richard Y from Jacksonville, Florida. I've been to Jacksonville so many times. I had an office in Jacksonville, right over there by the water. Beautiful area. I almost moved there actually in Jacksonville, but I just felt, I just thought it was just a little too slow. Come from a New Yorker, we're like fast paced. That was the only reason why. I've already gotten a book and registered for the week class. Do I need to register again? Saeed, no, you don't. You probably did you book an appointment? I think I have a meeting with you, right? Do we have a call? Sadeth? I think we have yeah, okay. Perfect. A couple other people. Listen, fellow traders, I have to go. I want to get back into the trading floor. I want to answer a couple more questions. Anyone here want to register? Elizabeth, I got yours from Ontario again, Toronto. Elizabeth, did I meet you in at the Mumu office when we did the on-site? Elizabeth, I don't know if I met you in there from Toronto or you missed. No, I didn't. Okay, it was recorded. If you wanted to come, we're going to be up there again. We're doing a lot of work up there with them, and not only that, but I'm going to probably be up there soon. But we do a big event in September too with the Money Show. Lee Z, I got yours from San Jose, California. All right, welcome aboard. All right, any other questions? I had already. All right, she's saying people right. Once again, just grab your phone and just scan it for $9. Look at that. Let me. I love this photo. Josh made this. Look at that. It's expensive, but some people buy that coffee at Starbucks. $9. Could you imagine? It's a $9, iced coffee. And I'm going to show you how people do this as a living. I think it's worth the $9. Okay. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to learn something. Oh, and I'll throw this bonus in there. If you want your $9 back at the end of the week, you could have it. I don't need your $9. I'm looking for people that want to be part of a team that want to make six figures trading. If you're that person, we're going to start here. All right. Any last minute questions? Brokerage accounts. Okay. Good question. No, you don't need a brokerage account to be here. You're only here to watch. Okay. You want to see how the other traders think for themselves, how we teach them how to trade. So if they're being taught, you could be taught. We don't want you to buy anything. Stock market's not going out of business. You're sitting there. You want to see that. You just want to see how, it's like to be on the trading floor. That's basically what it's all about. Why we've been doing this for over 30 years, and the room that you're going in is the original room. I started the first trading floor. All right. Now people are trying to open up left and right. A lot of people copied us, which is okay. It's flattering, I know some of you came from some expos. A lot of them were my students, and it's great. And the goal is, if I could teach you, we want you to teach other people. It's part of that process. It's worth 100 times the $9, Barbara. Thank you very much, Barbara. I really appreciate that. You know, like I said, what's the worst thing could happen? Some people get a little freaked out. They're like, it sounds a little too cheap. Something's wrong. There's no catch. No catch. All right, guys, I got to go. Thanks for listening. This has been recorded. We will send it over to you. What I'm going to do right now before we go, I want to play this video for you. Okay, this is a great video. So when COVID hit, this was the video with Moderna when the stock was $27. And I show you how all these orders are getting filled. Now, this was on the floor of the NASDAQ, office, on Times Square. So while you guys are registering and want to see a little bit more, watch this video. And then everyone here is going to register to speak to one of my education advisors. Let me move this over really quick. Somebody said, can I see that QQ scan? Yeah, right there. Watch the video. And like I said, subscribe to the channels, our YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok. I post every day. These are all the great benefits you're going to get. But watch this. See how Moderna makes a big run. We all know where it ended up. It went to $500. I'm going to show you how we do that, how we can convert that $9 to be like another Moderna, because there's a Moderna out there every day. All right. So thanks for listening, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Look forward to teaching you. If you didn't sign up, don't worry about it. When you're ready, we'll be here. Okay. Just don't wait too long. All right. You're the most busiest and best times of the market. Let's play that video for you guys. And I'll see you all in the trading room.
I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, New York City, we have Fausto Pugliese, the founder and president of Cyber Trading University. We're going to take a look at how traders are using Total View. And Fausto, could not be a better time to have you with us at Marketplace, because with everything going on, the volatility we've seen in the market since you were with us in the middle of February last time.
That was pretty crazy.
Traders are asking themselves, what's the bottom, what's the top? But as a day trader, you can kind of get an inside look when you're looking at a single stock.
Yeah, what it is, Jill, is that, thanks for having me again. And yes, when it comes to day trading, people realize that what happens over the course of the day, which trickles down to a swing trade into a long-term investment. And my phone's been blowing up. People could ask me, is this the bottom? Is this the bottom? Because we're looking at the market all day. And honestly, this is how you really know it's the bottom. When you have the worst of the worst of the worst news and just constantly all negative stuff, and the market's not going any lower, that's when you know it's time to buy. So as you see, like, a lot of bad news keeps coming up, and obviously you saw what happened yesterday when they lowered the Fed rate by a half. It took for a big decline, and all of a sudden the market's up with about almost like 900 points so far.
Mm-hmm.
So and there's still a lot of bad news that's coming out with the coronavirus and everything else, but that's really when you know when you hit the bottom. So for some of the listeners out there that really missed the boat when the market had a big rally, you almost hit 30,000. These are the opportunities. Honestly, it is like the same thing I saw back in 2008 when we had the financial crisis. So once you start seeing all the bad news, things start backing up. Well, start going up.
All right, let's take a look at our example here today. We're going to look at ticker symbol MRNA, NASDAQ listed, of course. What are we looking at? Where's the levels that you're looking to sell?
Okay, so listen, what is the mRNA? I keep bringing up stocks. And people are like, what is this company? It doesn't matter. We're just here to make money. The main goal about Total View is you have to understand how it works, how to know where the buyers and sellers are. It's all about supply and demand. That's why it's such a great tool. So we're looking at a chart right here, and we're looking at the stock right here. And the first thing people notice is like the stock's going up beautifully. Nice. Look at the stock. Started this morning. It's at 25.80. It's at 28. Is it going higher? Now the goal is, why does the stock keep breaking out? It hits a resistance, it comes back down. It breaks the previous resistance, keeps going up. How do you know it's going to keep breaking higher highs? And what we're going to do this time is we're going to bring a video so you all can see exactly what it's like to see in the real market conditions.
All right, so let's move on to our next slide here. That's exactly what we're doing. Let's take a look at Total View. I'm going to let you take the reins. Tell us what's happening here.
Okay, so we got like a little minute video here. So we're looking at some real time. The key here is time and sales. These are the transactions that are taking place. We're looking at level 2. Level 2 is basically people get for free, but it doesn't give you the depth of data as Total View does. Now, the key here is that you don't see that many sellers out there. You're just seeing the best bid and best offer of that exchange. But you'll notice how the stock keeps going higher. What we need to focus on is where you see the big sellers. And you're looking for big orders. You got 51 different orders out there, right around 20, 28. Things are going so quickly, I try to slow it down. So right around $28, $28.50. So that is really your resistance level. So when you're looking at a stock going out, they're going higher, you're going to say, is this stock going to break out? So you see it's coming up to this guy right here really quickly. You see it's coming up. Mm-hmm. It's coming up to this person right here. So it's 70,000 shares, 5,000 shares. So it's going to come up to that seller. Now the goal is this: is that guy going to get executed? Remember, you have 100 share sellers, 300 shares, 1,000. You have a big order out there. You want to see if that guy gets executed, and you want to see that's how it breaks out. Remember, what makes support and resistance levels is buyers and sellers. So you got a seller out there. So we're coming up to that seller right here. Now the goal is to look right here and see if that seller gets executed. And you see it's coming up to the seller, and boom, the guy gets taken out. It's actually executing it. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. See all those transactions? It took the guy out. Now look how fast the stock goes up. From 250, we're at 260, 270, 280, boom, like that, as quickly as that. That's why it's so important to know where the orders are, know where the resistance, and see if the guy gets taken out. Now, when we get to the next slide, look at it, we're already at 2880.
Yep, and you can see you start seeing 35,000.
Which is exactly. Now, this is the next order. Now, the next question is: here's the next biggest resistance. Is a 33,000 shares for there's 100 different orders out there. Now, then that's where the next resistance level is. So the goal is you hit a resistance. Where's the next resistance? The next resistance is the next biggest seller. So now we're coming up to him. We're going to see what's going to happen when he gets to 29.
Yeah, it happens so fast.
Well, also, this is about a 5-minute video that I was able to capture when we traded this stock, and I kind of speeded it up over about a minute. So it doesn't move as quickly. Boom, we hit 29. The guy got taken out again, and look at the stock just took off again. And the thing I want to explain to you, Jill, is that, and your listeners have to understand, is that when you have a big seller out there and that guy gets taken out, that is a very big demand. Someone says, oh, wow, I'll take that 30,000 shares. And that's why you get the stock that really, really starts to take off. Now, the next thing is that you're going to get some resistance levels. It's going to start backing off. There's always profit taking going on, right? So when you have profit taking going on, you can see profit taking going on. But the question is it really a profit taking, or is it just people just or is it really going to go lower? In this case, it's not. Seller got done. Remember, we just watched the stock go from 28 to 29. Now look at it. We're at 29.50 already. Stock just keeps going higher and higher because those sellers are getting executed. As those sellers get executed, that means there's a demand for it. When you see big block orders out there, it makes a bigger demand, that makes it higher. Now, the next resistance level obviously is going to be where we have to focus on where the next biggest orders are. So we got some, we freeze, right? We're done?
Nope, we have a little bit more to go here.
We slow down over here. Yep, we're done. Okay. So the next video we're going to show.
You have to go to our slide here. So this is where you're looking at those levels.
Right. So we're looking at the seller. So we have a 67,000 share seller at 28. So now we have to look what's what we call iceberg orders.
What does that mean?
Okay. So it's a funny story. So I came up with this word about 20 years ago after watching the movie The Titanic. Okay. I should go watch that movie. Very sad movie. I definitely recommend it. So anyway, what happened to Titanic? It hit an iceberg. And the thing is, everybody was focused on the pretty of the ship and above the water. They didn't realize it's not what's above the water, it's the bottom of the water. Icebergs are really big. So what happened, it crashed and sunk. So what we're looking for is big iceberg orders, which we call, some people call them big block orders, but when you see a big order, it's called an iceberg order. So now we're looking at a 28.90 and we're looking for a resistance. Once again, stocks going higher, we need to focus on the next resistance level.
All right, which is on the next chart here. We take a look. Yep.
So here's just a quick little screenshot. So as we're looking at it, you see, it's a lot easier when you're focusing on, when you're just looking at the level, the total view, and it's easy to point it out. Now, please keep in mind, your listeners have to understand, we're fast forwarding this pretty quickly to get to the point. It doesn't move this quickly. But I'm showing right here, it's the quick screenshot. What we're focusing on is this big order right here for 73,000 shares, and there's 315 different orders out there making up that 73,000. Now, the thing I just want to point out is, I just want to teach everyone a quick little lesson.
Yeah.
Don't ever sell anything at $30. Go out at $29.99. You just cut the line by.
So that's for anything that's an even number.
Biggest trick I was taught by my mentors when I was young was, listen, everybody's going to think 30. Everybody's going to think 20. Go out $21.99. You just cut the line by 73,000 shares. So it's a very good.
It's like selling a house or buying a house. It's like that, those incremental psychological levels.
Well, if you remember, if you look at it, the stock has a penny intervals. So that's a little tip. But the thing is, let's focus what happens to the 30. You know, just right off the bat, you know that's a major resistance levels, and that's what you have to focus on. That's for this the stock to go any higher, it's got to get through that 73,000 share seller on total view.
All right, well, let's take a look at that next slide. See what happens next. Now we're going to get the other piece of the trade.
Okay, so here we're looking at the stock moving. Here's 29.45, 29.48, 62, 67. So the sellers are getting executed. You can see the transactions taking place. But we know that there's that guy sitting right here. And now his order's coming up. Look, he's starting making up the ranking. It's getting up to 30. It's getting close to him. Let's watch what happens. 74, 70. Look at the transactions taking place. It's trying to get there. And by the way, those orders, they're all real. People think like that fake. Those are real orders. Can a guy cancel it? Of course they can cancel it. But that you have to take very seriously, and that's a real order out there. So now as we're looking at it, and as it's trading, it's trying to get there. Actually, it kind of almost tested it. You see that right there? See that candle right there? It's hit it, and now it's starting to back off a little. Now you're starting to see the red candlesticks. So now it means that the last sale is lower than the previous.
And this works for all kinds of stocks. ETFs, would it work for ETFs also?
Yes, futures, it works the same way. Remember, it's the movement of stock that makes all those other things. Yeah, right. ETFs and everything else. You can look up any ETF and they'll come up on TotalV. Look, now we're down to 29.
Yeah.
So my point that I'm getting to is this: if you didn't have a game plan, Jill, and didn't know that seller was out there, and you try to
and actually, if we go to the next slide, this is exactly what we're talking about. There's your level right there.
If you didn't have a game plan and knew that seller was out there, and look at that candle, that stock literally moved. Look how fast it moved in that one bar chart. If you didn't have a game plan to get out there before that guy was out there, and if you didn't what we call shaving, if you didn't shave just before that 30 and cut that line, guess what? You would just look how much money you would have lost. That stock didn't even drop from 30. Look where it went to. Wow. 730. You got crushed on that trade because what happens if that seller's out there and he's not getting executed? He really had to sell that order, Jill. How is he going to get out? He's got to sell to the buyers. If he hits the bid, he's running that stock down, not you and I. Remember, we're not trading 74,000. Someone else is, and it's not one person. We saw it. It was like there was several people out there doing it.